Carroll County Farm Museum is indeed well traveled. A trip through the scenic countryside is a journey back through the years when the wagon was master of the highway and farms were the center of life in the county. Morning means leaving those comfortable beds. And the sleep leaves your eyes with a splash of cold water from the washstand. Kids of 100 years ago were probably the same sleepyheads we are. When you wanted a glass of milk on the farm, you didn't find it in the refrigerator. But doing this chore in the morning might result in homemade ice cream for dessert. In the days before farms were equipped with electricity, the water in the spring house cooled the milk. The kitchen was the center of activity in the home. Paring apples and rolling out dough for pies kept Mother and Grandmother busy all morning. There was always room for doing lessons, though. But all those good smells made it hard to concentrate on reading, writing, and arithmetic. And you can bet that it's worth carrying wood in if your reward is a piece of fresh apple pie.
Nice sanitary articles, I can tell you. You wrote your sums on your slate and showed them to your teacher and then moistened your slate rag and rubbed them out and started over again.
Everyone enjoys Grandma's stories about what it was like to go to a one-room schoolhouse. The twinkle in her eye makes it easy for us to picture a little country girl listening for the bell on that first September day. Before the days of heavy farm machinery, both men and animals had to work hard in the field. The wheat harvest filled the flour barrel for making country-style homemade bread. The heat of the fields got lost fast in a cool drink of springhouse water, the best thirst quencher in the world. Much of the cultivation work on the farm involved close cooperation between the farmer and his horse. A steady hand on the plow and lots of patience put the vegetables on the table. With the day's work finished, everyone on the farm had a chance to stop and take stock of the beautiful surroundings. The horses were no exception. They were sent off to enjoy the freedom of the pasture until the next morning. The farm certainly wasn't a place for all work and no play. On Saturday evening, the neighbors would come to sit in the parlor to quilt and listen to the gramophone. The kids, though sitting on a couch, traveled across the world by looking through the stereopticon. The organ accompanied the singing, and everyone had a chance to practice church hymns.
Waiting for the harvest and the time of reaping, we shall come rejoicing, bringing in the sheep.
A lot of things have changed since the days of the old farm. I've grown up and moved away. Sometimes, to recapture those old days and to help remember my own boyhood, I'll go out to the Carroll County Farm Museum, just to get that old feeling back, and for a taste of that fresh country apple butter. The Carroll County Farm Museum is a living replica of a 19th century farm. Everything found on an old farm is here. Buildings the way they were in the 1800s, farm animals, and lots of happy children. Kids take to the farm museum like a duck takes to water. Square dancing is a regular feature of the museum's programming. You can join in and dance, or just watch, from a friendly pile of pumpkins. In the midst of all the activity, some folks can find fascination just picking flowers. Uh-oh, looks like a little foul play. Here's a wild and woolly demonstration of sheep shearing. There are a lot of sweaters in there, and I'm not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Wonder whether it looked this easy when they used manual rather than electric clippers. A farmer had to butcher his own livestock as well as raising them. That looks like enough pork chops and ham for a family-sized Sunday dinner. Remember that wheat harvest? Well, here's the result of all that hard work. That dough will rise into delicious country-style bread. And a piece of barbecued chicken sure does dress that bread up. Old-fashioned barbecues are a famous feature of the Farm Museum. The 19th century farm was not without machinery. The shingle maker utilized the steam tractor to drive the saw to cut shingles. By the beginning of the 20th century, steam-driven equipment competed with the horse as the prime mover on the farm. Well, he couldn't duck out forever. Each year, the Farm Museum hosts a steam show, which highlights and demonstrates these machines that were so important to the progress of American farming. While the steam tractor replaced the horse in the field, the horseless carriage became the king of the highway. Once or twice a year, the museum hosts an antique automobile show. These old automobiles are part of an ever-growing use of the Farm Museum as a center for interest in the history and traditions of our country's growth. A lot of hard work changed this photograph into a rideable reality. The Farm Museum suits this old car to a T. Civil War buffs use the spacious surroundings to reenact a battle, some sporting authentic weapons and uniforms. There's something for everybody at the museum, with ample opportunity to grab a little bit of the old farm life, brush away the outer covering, find out what it feels like. The sounds of the blacksmith ring all the way down Times Highway to the 19th century. The strong hands of the smithy and craftsmen like him helped shape the foundations of the greatest agricultural nation in the world. People come to the Farm Museum for many different reasons. For school kids, a trip out here can make history come right off the pages of their textbooks. And for some folks, it's a place to recapture a little of their own days on the farm. So, with horse well shod, the old farmer turns back down that road that leads from today back to yesterday. You and I can stop him, though, with a visit to the Carroll County Farm Museum and a look at the good old days in the country.